check it out. Hello. Sorry, elephant in the room. It's been a minute, hasn't it, since we've done one of these. I've been obviously busy doing other stuff on this channel, but also I've been messing around with this on the side, and I thought that I should show you what I've done. I've been kind of adding little changes. We can do a quick fly through if you want. This is new. This stuff. Look. Chianti ate his liver with some fava beans. Check it. So I think what we're going to focus on is actually making some semblance of, like, I think we need to make a point for this because it feels a bit empty right now, so we're going to make a branching path in here. I think that's what we should do anyway, and I'm going to try to make it loop up to this bit, so that's what we're going to do. My favorite thing to do is to just make a weird shape. I think I've already talked about this, but like you know, you never have a good start on a map if you just start out making a bunch of corridors. I think the best thing you can do as a designer is to go like, let's come up with a weird shape and then figure out how to make it look good. So like, if it's strange, people will remember it. I think that's the main thing to take away. If you've got a weird looking map, people will always remember it. And now here's my chance to include some cool Doom footage of my favorite maps. A good example, I think, is a good like 70% of Sunlust applies to this. Like map 30 God Machine is an absolute banger, and it is such a weird looking map. It's like a weird, like, empty, depressing, horrible, like, pain machine facility, which is like obviously super badass. And Back to Saturn X has a lot of really cool architecture, but that's more like, it looks weird because most people don't go for such a realistic approach. So I think that's really cool. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, there's the whole part that I forgot to do. Wait, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I think this is it. I forgot to lower unpeg this whole bit. People notice misaligned textures. Like, even if the people playing your map are like super normie types, they will notice if your map has poorly aligned textures. It's just one of those things where people don't really realize that they realize it, but people can visually tell if a map has like somebody who didn't really think about the textures very much. It's like one of those subconscious type things. I like the idea of it being grass floor. Maybe it should be a bit more, what do you call it, depressed? Hang on, watch this. You'll see what I mean in a second. If I do this, and then we get like this texture. If I did that, maybe. Yeah, that looks way better. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. I like it being thick like this, yeah. I usually like to do detail work like this, like quite skinny, but I think this is a bit cooler. Mainly because I just don't really do this very often. This is new for me. We want to make a tunnel that cuts through into here, so we're gonna have to design the rest of this area, I think. First, design some quick 3x3 corridors, and then we can elaborate on them later. This is what I don't do, and I think this is why I have a lot of issues when I make levels, is that I don't just like, let's just hash out some geometry. And then when you're not afraid to just go like, fuck it, let's just make some space like this, it becomes a lot easier to actually flesh something out. So I think I should do this more as a designer. Just go nuts and just make some shapes, and then figure out what it means. You know? It's like when you come up with an idea for a story. You know, obviously you want to make a great story, but you can't make a good story without just coming up with some cool ideas first. Come up with a cool idea and then worry about the context and the meaning and the implications after that. The most important part is just getting that initial part down, like the cool premise down. So I think that's what I'm doing right now. Just make it like a tunnel network, and then we can expand on it or take away as much as we want after. There we go. That's just a rough outline. That doesn't look very good right now, but we can clean it up in a minute. Right, this is where it gets fun. Because obviously we've got quite a height difference here. So we can figure out how we want to address this. I think we are just going to go stairs. I think we're just going to do good old-fashioned, simple, missionary vanilla stairs. Now, I think we want to add some, maybe a bit of depth to these so that they're more like that. So I think I'm going to make some juts on these like this. Jut. Jut. Is that too much jut? Kind of. Hard to tell, huh? I'll make us, yeah, smaller jut, smaller jut, smaller jut. Right. All I want is I just don't want stairs that are just like square. I know you do get stairs that are just square in real life, but like, I don't know, I never know how to make them look good, so whenever I do something like this, I always try to make it look a bit more kind of wacky and weird, because it's Doom after all. Like, that should be what you embrace, right? Is the weird shit, instead of going like, oh, I'll try and make this look like a real life base or a real life ruin or whatever, you know? It should be kind of like, hey, fuck it, man, like, go nuts. So we're making some new sectors here, and the only point of making these sectors is just to make a light gradient here so it's a bit smoother. See, look at that. Doesn't that look a bit better now? You can kind of tell where the light gradient starts and ends, but already that's a bit more presentable. Now we just need to make it so that, see, there we go. Now we've got kind of an actual thing, if you know what I mean, like an actual lip. I think, can we, oh no. Okay, if I decide that I actually want to do this, this is going to be a nightmare. Hang on. I need to grab everything that is exposed to the ceiling in this room. I don't know how to do this quickly, so I'm just gonna do it the good old-fashioned way of just click, 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 click. There's probably a better way to do this. I'm imagining that there's probably some technique that better level designers use where they can have differing sky heights in their levels, but I don't know how to do that because I'm not quite skilled enough. I'll tell you what I can do, actually. I know this technically is detailing, but I've just had this idea and I don't want to lose it. Hang on. And then just add that on. And then we can add this into the equation of the light fade. So, select... boom, wait, boom, 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 boom. There. And then we've got a bit of like an arch that kind of casts a shadow. Alright. Oh no, we can press Control Shift Delete to fuck it. I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know how to turn that off. Any gamers who know how to turn off GeForce Experience, please tell me. I hate experience overlay, it's so annoying. But yeah, you see what I mean, look, about that. We do need to get rid of that in the auto map viewer, because we've done that for everything else. But look, that kind of adds like an extra dimension to the way that it looks. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to put it into words, but it's kind of, now it looks like there's a bit more to it. And maybe I want to like expand on this thing so it makes it look like it's part of the whole structure. Look, this looks cool, doesn't it? Look, you can see the mountains out like over yonder. So there'd be like a fence here that stops you from realizing that actually the world ends like right here. Like this is an illusion. Like the actual physical space ends here. So we're gonna have fences here, and then you can come up the stairs, and there'd be like maybe chain gunners or Hell Knight or something in here set on an ambush flag, and then boom, 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 and there'd be some like cool scary corridors. Put some decorations in there, like indents in the walls with candles and stuff, and then go, and then you've come out on the other side. So you've got two ways to explore it. Here's a tip: if you tag something as a secret, then that means that it will show up as like a it will show up as an impassable wall on the auto map, which tells the player that it's impassable, which is good. It's good communication with the player. So I always try to do that. So we need to add, I forgot to add the mid bars on the other side as well. See, this is why it's hard making these videos, because it is literally, most of doing these videos is just going like, fixing minor problems, you know? Like that. And then it's like, how do you make this interesting to watch? It is the most boring thing I can think of watching. So I don't really understand why people like watching it. There we go. And like, it's not like I'm a good mapper, you know? I'm kind of an amateur. So look at that, look. This looks cool, huh? Who made this? This is the issue though. We need to get rid of this. We need to figure out how to mitigate this problem here. We could put we could potentially put secrets in here. They'd be a bit obvious though, wouldn't they? Nah, you can never make a secret too obvious. Just put as many secrets as possible and then just have a few ones that are supposed to be hard to find. You can have like a little secret that goes around the outside. That'd be kind of cool. But look, doesn't that look kind of badass? I actually tell you what, one thing I wanted to do really quick, because it was kind of driving me up the wall, was I decided on this motif here, like the kind of meat in the walls. So there's an area earlier, this one, where there's kind of, there's a similar thing going on, but I decided on like a kind of rock motif instead. So I'm gonna go through here and add in this new meat motif. Should we make, oh, you should make the dirt under the floorboards into like meat as well. And then it will look like that the whole church is built on the body of like some horrible creature. Look, check it out. That's pretty cool, huh? Don't you think? I like that. I think that's cool. Anyway, I'll change it to meat now, and then if later I want it to be blood, I can just quickly change it all to be blood again, you know. It's not like I have to lock this in now. But there's like a cool like kind of brown, green, red motif with the way the whole level looks. Like there's only really 3 colors, but they're kind of spread out across. So it looks like there's a lot of variety, which I quite like. This was something I was a bit worried about, is if you have like the same texture go on for a really long stretch, you can end up accidentally like fucking with it, if you know what I mean. Like making like a domino effect where you accidentally mess with the texture on a different thing that's super far away because you auto-aligned it. So now what we've effectively done is made like a choke. So there's a choke in here now that means that we can freely change textures, realign textures without having to worry about stuff like this getting changed. So now this is like a completely isolated spot, which means that it's going to be a lot less stressy fixing it, because I don't have to worry about chain reactions and all this crap. So there we go, just adding some little bits in there. So like some little kind of bits that come out. We definitely want to add some on this. So sometimes it can literally just be the difference between just making a little pocket that comes out like this, with like making it feel less unintentionally claustrophobic. Because this is still going to feel really claustrophobic, but it's going to feel like, you know, you've actually got some breathing space to actually navigate. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make a smaller pocket in here. You're going to see what I'm doing in a minute, and it's going to be cool. Hang on. And then what we do is we put light sources, candle. Classic. Bosh. Whenever you put candles down, you don't have to do this, but I always like putting a flicker. And then what you want to do is make this just a tiny bit brighter than normal. Don't want to go crazy. See, back in the day, I would have put a 160 on that. Do you see what I mean? Like, this instantly makes this look like more of a dynamic space by having these lights in here, and change the light going in, and there's a bit of a gradient, which looks good. So this is probably going to be like a cool, like, you know, like a spot with pinkies and imps and stuff in here. Okay, so this is our progress today. This whole pocket here and this addition here. I'm quite happy with that, actually. That's not so bad. I definitely need to like add a thing here. Maybe like a teleporter that, I don't know. Something. But this, I think I definitely want to make a kind of a thing. Maybe that goes out here. But this devil's definitely a lot bigger than I initially planned, which is kind of funny. Yeah, we'll figure this out. It's getting away from me a little bit though. It's kind of scaring me a bit. Hang on, I definitely need to do this. Give me a minute. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm just doing this so that... Because right now, this space is a bit... It makes the place look like it's flat, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna... There we go. So what I've done there is now there's an edge on that wall, and then we can kind of, you know, flesh that out by doing this. So now instead of it just being a flat wall, there's kind of a curve. And then you'll see there'll be like a bit of parallax as you come in, if you see what I mean. So you'll see the kind of curvature of the building as you come into it. I might want to add some mountains here, actually. That might look better. I might add some mountains and then kind of see, you know, what what it looks like, and ask what people think in the comments if it looks better than just having this endless ocean with the horizon. Right, I'm not 100% happy with this, but you can kind of see what I mean, right? The idea of like the mountain instead. Obviously this is going to be cleared up, this bit. But it kind of makes it look a bit more like there's actually stuff there instead of, you know, what I had earlier. So at the highest point, it kind of looks like this. So you kind of see what I mean. This isn't finished. I'm not entirely happy with this, but you know, you see what I mean, right? I spent a bunch of like effort trying to I've got like a bunch of bits where the water's eroded through the rock. It's like detail that you don't even see like from over here. So this is my problem, and then if you get too high up, look at this. But yeah. So tell me, you know, if it looks better the other way or if this looks better. I'd like to know. Hello. Oh, I probably want to fix that, whatever that is. But yeah, yeah. Tell me if this is better or not. But at the end of the episode, oh, watch out! Wait.